Good evening, everybody. How you all doing this evening? Give me just a second. Let's see. How you doing, Angela, Shamika? Hey, Sean, what's going on, lady? So, is the video showing up good on this one? Okay. So today is Friday, right? So it is Freedom Friday with Elcia and Free Advice Friday. So, can y'all hear me okay? You know, trying to make it, nothing major. How everything going with you? So tonight is Freedom Friday with Elcia, Free Advice Friday. So we're gonna talk about freedom, right? A lot of people will be like, you talk about freedom all the time. So, you know, what's up with you talking about freedom all the time? I think freedom is very important. You know, I know a lot of times, a lot of people, we don't typically focus on it, right? Most of the time, we just focusing on, you know, trying to make it day by day, trying to get through, you know, trying to, you know, make ends meet, trying to make sure we're able to take care of our families, and live a decent life, right? We don't really have time to be focused on freedom or too much things outside of, you know, making sure we're able to contain a good job and provide the necessities of life for us and our families. But I think it's very important to take some time to think about freedom, right? So what is freedom? I mean, it's basically just being free of something, right? So what is there to be free from? You know, you can be free from certain situations, certain people, right? Or it's a lot of stuff you can be free from, but we're going to touch on a few of them. So one thing you can be free from is free from stress, right? Stress definitely can cause a lot of problems, you know, in your life and have a negative effect on you, on your body, that type of thing, right? You also could be free from a job or a workplace that is unfulfilling and unhealthy to you, right? You can be free from certain people that don't have a positive impact on your life, right? Certain people, whether it be people at your workplace, like coworkers you may hate, don't like to be around, or bosses you don't like to work for, but you know, you need your job, so because you need the money, you know, to live. And so a lot of times we put up with things that we don't necessarily really want to be putting up with, just to be able to do what we really need to do for us and our families, right? Anybody agree with me on that, or y'all disagree, or what are y'all thoughts as far as whether or not you think we do put up with a lot of things a lot of times that not necessarily we want to put up with, but we just put up with it just to be able to do what we need to get done? Or you think vice versa, or what are your thoughts on it? And you know, something else as far as to be free of is free of not being able to live, right? So go to back what I was initially saying about a lot of times we don't have time to do a lot of other things we really want to be doing in life because we have to focus on doing what we need to do in life, right? So a lot of times we go through, basically when I mean freedom from not being able to live is, you know, basically most of the times we go through life living the exact same life, is going through the exact same cycle, you know, for 50, 60, 70 years. And what is that cycle? Well, most of us, the cycle is, you know, we wake up in the morning, We get ready for work. We get the kids ready for school. We get the kids off to school. We head to work. We work 8, 10, 12 hours or more, whatever you work. You get off work, you come home, or go pick up the kids from school. You got to get dinner ready. You got to help the kids, with homework. Get the kids put to bed. Try to, get your stuff ready for tomorrow. Get the kids stuff ready for tomorrow. And, maybe have an hour or two, or if that, some of us have nothing at all left to maybe watch TV or have time with your spouse or a significant other or whatever. And then, next day, we wake up and do the whole thing over again. For decades. A lot of time, and so it's like, it's a cycle that we, do every day just out of habit, not even really thinking about it, right? We just we doing what we need to do. But we're not really living, right? We're just kind of like existing, going through the motions, making money to maintain life. And, basically that's it. And we may, get a vacation, maybe a week or two vacation out of the year. But most of the time, some people, even if they get they're able to take the time off, they may not necessarily have the funds to actually go anywhere or do anything that they would really want to be doing, right? Or something of significance that will get them away from the normal life they've been living. And then, free from financial burdens, right? And so being able to handle anything and everything that arises from a financial standpoint related to money. Not living paycheck to paycheck, or not only doing great only as long as nothing unexpected arises, right? Some people live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of us, we may not live paycheck to paycheck, but we may be, think we doing okay, right? We, have some savings, we have a house, we have, decent cars, nice vehicles, decent family, right? We have some savings in the bank or under the mattress, or, wherever you decide to keep, or in the piggy bank, or wherever you decide to keep your money. We have some savings. But then, if something tragic happens, or some type of huge expense, it could, change our entire lifestyles. And so being able to be free of that as well, right? And the most important one, being able to be free, have time freedom, right? And so, obviously money, you can make more money. And if you lose money, you can get more, make more. But time, right? In our efforts of trying to make money or do what we need to do for our families, a lot of us work really hard, right? And it takes up most all of our time. So we don't really have as much time as we would like to spend with our families, right? To do a lot of things with our kids that we really would want to do. Maybe do a lot of things with our spouses that we would want to do. Go a lot of places we would want to go. Travel abroad, right? Not just go to Florida or Vegas or, close places that people typically go, or other than just going on a cruise or something, right? It's a whole world out there to see, right? But most of us never get to see it. And so freedom allows all these things, for you to do, right? And money is a big part of having freedom, right? Money is what, affects whether or not you can be free or not. No matter how, negative connotations that people put on money, money is what is going to allow us to have the lifestyle we want to have. Money is going to determine whether or not you can be stress-free, right? Or whether or not you're, worried about whether you're going to be able to pay a bill, or worried about trying to pick or choose what bill you're going to let not, what bill you're going to let get behind because you coming up short. So something has to get left out so you can make sure at least you guys can eat, or, if something happens, have a health issue or something that arises unexpectedly that, could cost tens of thousands of dollars. And even if you say, well, I've saved up me a good amount of money, I have, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, $50,000 sitting in the bank, $100,000. At the end of the day, that's not really a lot of money if something truly happens that, could wipe all of that out. Even just the expensive health care. If we could get in a car wreck or anything, right? God forbid any of this happening, but these are things we need to consider and things we need to think about. If one negative thing happens in our lives that could wipe out all the savings we have, that could, change our whole lifestyles, our kids' lifestyles, our families' lifestyles, right? And so, but if we put a plan in place, right, to be able to reach freedom, right, where there are no more financial worries of any sort, right, where we have the availability to spend as much time as we want with our kids and still go to work, make our money, right? But we don't have to be there all the time to continue to make ends meet. And so that's what freedom is, right? And when you're able to be free financially and have time freedom, there is stress is very unlikely, right? Dealing with people you really don't want to deal with is very unlikely, right? Just say, for instance, going back to unhealthy or unhappy relationships. A lot of people, over years I've seen where people, stay together just really out of a financial arrangement, right? They no longer love each other. They no longer want to be with each other. But maybe when they bought their house and their fancy cars and all the other luxuries or liabilities they decided to go into debt getting, maybe they based all that stuff off of both of their incomes, right? And so, but now they no longer want to be together. So what happens is, oh, well, we don't want to be together, but we'll still stay together and live completely separate lives and still be under one roof with each other, even though we really don't want to be. Just because, we need both of those incomes to still be able to afford this house, to afford these cars, and maintain what we've portrayed to society. This stuff happens, right? But if you've reached freedom, if you didn't have you had other choices to do it, most people wouldn't stay there and have that kind of arrangement. If they had, the set up themselves for freedom, they're not going to put up with that. People not going to put up with, being in an unfulfilling workplace, being around bosses or coworkers they don't want to be around. If outside of when they leave work, they're working on something to set themselves up. If ever it comes a time that their job is no longer there or they get fed up with it and they want to leave, if during their free time or the time that they make to have to work on themselves and on something else to set themselves up for freedom, they wouldn't put up with that. And so that's just some things to think about, right? I know a lot of times we don't have time to think about these sort of things. So freedom, being free of whatever it is you want to be free from, basically, is the whole gist of the conversation. And I appreciate everybody who joined me this evening. I know it is Friday evening, so I won't keep you guys long. Definitely, if you find value in any videos I do, any posts I do, definitely feel free to share it with your family, with your followers, with your friends, on your timelines, whatever. Definitely give me some likes, give me some hearts. If I don't know if I'm here talking to myself or not, nobody ain't talking to me. I'll leave me alone to talk to myself tonight. But I appreciate everybody for joining, and connect with me on all the social media platforms, with most of them: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm on Pinterest as well, and Snapchat. It's all at Elcia Holmes. And also, if you have interest, or somebody you may know who's interested in real estate or entrepreneurship, we have a separate page for those sorts of things as well. You can connect with me on there as well. It's on the same social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And it also has a YouTube channel with Pinterest. And it's the Real Estate Investing and Freedom Club. You can follow that page as well. And if you ever in the area want to come out, we also host a monthly meetup. You can get all that information on that page as well. And it's a free community focused on, entrepreneurship, real estate investing tips, support, encouragement, and positivity and conversations that matter, right? A lot of times we talk about things that don't have no significance, but we talk about things that matter, things that can change your life, right? Things that help you get to wherever you're trying to go. And, even partnership opportunities. So definitely connect with me on that page as well, if you would like. And, share it with anybody else who may have interest in it. And again, I thank you all for joining me this Friday evening. And remember, we only get one life. There is no redos. There's no rewinds. There is no startovers, right? There's no second chances. We only get one life. So we have to do the absolute best to fulfill our purpose, our passions during this one lifetime we get. So live it to the fullest. If you desire freedom, work towards it. Put a plan in place to accomplish it, and work that plan, right? Work the plan. And, if it doesn't go right the first time, all right, step back, regroup, restructure another plan, tweak it where you need to tweak it. But what you don't do is ever give up on freedom, right? Freedom, even though, it has the word free in it, it is not free. It does have to be worked towards. It does has to be built upon. So if freedom is what you desire, definitely fight to get it, and fight once you get it, fight to maintain it and keep it, and even be able to pass it on to your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids, and all future generations, right? And I wish each and every one of you freedom in everything that you desire, everything you desire to have. I wish that it is yours, and I'm sure that it is, as long as you are willing to put in the work. Again, this is Elcia Holmes, and I hope you guys have an outstanding and blessed evening and a safe weekend. Thank you again for joining. Have a good one.